Okay, we are back. Casino Guitars, thanks for joining us. First off, what the is that guitar?
This?
Yes.
This Tangerine Dream?
I know a little bit about this guitar. This is from a dear friend of ours.
It is, yeah. So this is like a, it's a jazz bass, right? Like kind of jazz bass style guitar, but it's got jazz bass pickups, but also it's 6 strings and the headstock's huge. Look at that. That's the size of my face.
Sasha, we like it, but let's get into what we're talking about now. This is gonna be our guitar demo machine of choice. So why am I here?
Why are you here? Because Universal Audio has just released a new set of pedals that emulate amps, and you're a known amp emulator hater.
I don't care at all about what you're talking about. Continue.
But they released 3, right? So we got the Ruby, which is the one that we're talking about today. It's the 63 top boost, like a Vox.
That sounds very interesting to me.
That's right. And then we got the Dream, which is like a Fender amp. It's like 65. And then the Woodrow, which is like a 55 Tweed. But why I picked this one is because it's one of my favorites. And also because you're a Vox lover.
I am a lover of Voxes and all things Vox.
I wanted to drive it home and explain why you need this.
Good luck.
So, you
no
know.
chance.
Well, okay. So hear me out. First off,
I'm gonna try to be good. Okay, go.
That's right. We got this pedal here that is set up to be just like a Vox amp, right?
Okay.
But on top of that,
But it's a little box.
it is a little box. But it's got 2 Voxes in it technically, right? So they did the earlier version, which did not have the top boost, and then they did a later version, which is from 63, 64, which did have the top boost.
Okay, so that's what they modeled after?
Yes, they modeled after those 2 amps specifically. They went on this huge, crazy search, you know, like a witch hunt just to find the right amps to do this after. And they put them both into here, but on top of that, they added a bunch of presets that you can download in Bluetooth, your phone to, and you can sound like Brian May instead of just wanting to be Brian May, because you have a Brian May Vox amp, like the signature one.
Which required a lot of work to get.
A lot of
Jonathan making a big detour to get it from Carter's Vintage in Nashville for me.
But you do have it. Now, what's cool with this, though, is it takes it a step further, and per preset, you can get closer to that sound by changing out the boost circuit and the speaker sim and stuff like that, like you would.
That's a lot easier than modding the amp.
It is.
Which my Brian May Vox has been modded. It had the special sort of mod to make it more Brian May.
Yeah, big one knob insanity. But with this, you get the same kind of sounds as Brian May uses, like a Range Master boost on his to get that, you know, shimmery top boost load on there. That's what this does right here on its own for $400.
Well, let's get into it. Let me hear some noises. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's not bad.
That's right.
I will say it's not bad. It does sound like a Vox.
It does. Yeah.
It's am I gonna switch? Maybe if I had like certain live gigging things I had to go to, and I did not want to lug my outrageously heavy AC30.
Well, something that I think this would be super interesting for is like at the Neon Rooster, we do a blues jam, right? If you showed up with one of these, and we may even use these at our next blues jam, you just run them straight through the board. They go out the PA.
You said the Neon Rooster. I just conjured up all sorts of images, but continue.
But yeah, and that takes away the need for amps on stage or anything like that. If you're into that, I still love my amp. And
the thing I liked about it that does impress me a little bit. Still not on the dark side yet, but it gives you that Vox sound and somewhat of the feel.
Yeah.
To without me having to again like lug this heavy thing, mic it, which you don't need to mic an AC30 ever unless you're playing an amphitheater.
That thing's loud.
And I don't have to like completely destroy my ears. I guess as far as the DAW aspect goes too, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of plugins though you could do with your computer already, but this is obviously a lot better and more in depth.
You do, and it's one of those things where it kind of keeps its own standalone. Now, there's been brands that have tried this before, like Strymon, and it was meant for just like that. You can run it straight.
I did
into a
not
DAW.
like that as much.
I didn't either and my issue with that compared to this is that it was trying to do a lot of things, right? It's trying to be 3 amps in one box, and I just felt like it didn't do any of them really great. Like it could do the sounds, and they were all right, but it wasn't doing anything great. To where this is like a Vox in a box. It's great,
Sorry, I got distracted. I started thinking about Kate Bush as you were talking. Do you know who Kate Bush is?
No, Kate Bush.
Okay, because she was famous like 30 years ago, and she's like a #1 single right now, again, which is great because TikTok made it happen. Yeah. And I started thinking TikTok, little boxes. Oh my God, my whole world has just been destroyed. I don't know what to do anymore. Has music changed that much? I don't know. Godzilla was not good, the first movie with Bryan Cranston in it, but it's
So would you put that as the last pedal on your pedal board?
Yes, you would. This would be like the last thing out, right, on your pedal board.
But you would run it as a pedal in your pedal board sometimes too, or would you just run it as like a complete amp alone?
So for me, you can do either one, right? And for me, the way that I think that I would go about it would be to run it straight into my amp as the last thing on there. Not because it's like, oh, well, now my amp sounds like a Vox. That's impossible, especially if you're running it through another tube amp. What it'll do is it'll sound like you've stacked a Vox on top of your amp.
Well, that's what I would do because I like amps. I would run it through a Fender amp.
Yeah.
I would just get like a clean, transparent Fender, like a Princeton or a Twin or a Deluxe.
Yeah, well, it sounded really cool to push that amp too, because like I said, it's that idea of a Vox chained into a Fender, and for that you can also cut off the speaker simulation so that it's going straight in as if it's coming off the head.
That's so weird. That's speaker simulations too.
That's weird too, right?
Just like the aux box.
That's right, just like the Xbox.
Those bastards.
They're so smart.
They are smart. I really don't like the people at Universal Audio. I don't like their engineers. I don't like anything about this because it scares me.
They take the time to sort out all of this, and
Can
it's
I
really
hold that
cool.
guitar while you're talking?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that sort of
Tangerine.
an aux box mini in some aspects?
Not so much like it would be like if you took an aux box and you took your head and you slapped them together and then you condensed it down to one pedal, Obviously, your amp head has a little bit more functionality, aux box has a little bit more functionality, but this is working on both. And it's all emulation too, it's all digital. But it sounds fantastic.
It does sound really good. It's
Yeah.
I still don't want to like it because I like heavy things that are obsolete.
But though, this is the cool part.
But
Get a little bit of
I
both.
would definitely play one though. I would play. I like this one. It'd be fun to play. So maybe you convince me a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like Derek convinced me that double stuffed brownies are good.
Or EL fudges.
Is that what we had the other day?
Yeah, those are good too.
Those were good.
Double-stuffed
I don't like those
fudges.
types of cookies in general, but that was pretty good.
That was killer.
My favorite candy bar is a Goo Goo Cluster.
Gross.
I know, like grandma's favorites. Just give them to Baxter.
Gangbang.
Oh God, that was horrible. I didn't participate.
Okay, so Derek wants me to share with you what a McGangbang is. Hopefully he bleeps that part out.
Well, if you've watched our channel, we've talked about this before too, because Johnny and I just talked about this as well.
You just talked about
no,
the
but you
gangbang?
continue. Well, we didn't say the name because we would not actually say those words on YouTube.
It's a McGoo cluster. You separate a McDouble and you put a McChicken in the middle. Boom. You ready to rock? Try it.
Yeah, I had one bite. I couldn't do it. It deletes the taste, the individual goodness. I don't like combining lots of things either. Like tomato mozzarella, yes. Chocolate and liqueur, no. I like my desserts to be desserts. When they put like booze on your desserts, it's like, why'd you ruin that chocolate cake by pouring like brandy on it?
Yeah, that would ruin it.
That's what fancy people do, and it drives me nuts. Fancy restaurants.
That's right.
Don't like it.
That's why I keep it classy and buy a pedal.
We're like the best. Like the lava cake, the cookie at Chili's is amazing. The chocolate chip cookie.
I've not had
Ice
that.
cream, so good. We'll do that maybe sometime this week.
You, me, and Derek, we're gonna have a night out.
Chili's date.
Little date.
It's open mic later, so maybe after that.
Maybe after that.
Gross.
There you go.
I mean, that's it. Thanks for letting me come and play with you a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't like
Thanks
being
for
around
having me
pedals in general.
Yeah,
They scare me.
This thing's cool, and I think it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites just because of the connection that we have to Vox amps here in the shop.
And I get this. This makes more sense to me as a pedal because it's trying to be an amp. Like, and that's what I care about amps. I don't care about all like the sort of sound effects that pedals make in general. I like a good amp. And a Vox can drive.
Vox can drive.
Nice.
That's right. They absolutely can.
Like a Tesla.
That's
Thanks for
right.
joining us. Click like, subscribe.
There you go. Hit the bell.
The bell. I always forget that. But cheery ho, whatever they say.
Cheery ho.
Cheery hot. Fudge.
Cheerio.
Cherry Coke.